to face the unknown and ponder the questions.
Greetings, whoever this may concern. Christian Aguilar here, back with another series review. And in today's series review, I'm going to be reviewing episode 2 of Marvel's What If. Now, this second episode of What If takes a look at what if T'Challa was Star-Lord. Now, it's a very interesting what if, because I don't believe this was a what if in the comics. I could be wrong, let me know on that down below if you can. But I was fascinated by this, not only because this is Chadwick Boseman's final performance, voice acting in this series. I heard he's in, I think, 3 more episodes of What If. Voicing, I don't know if it's going to be particularly the same T'Challa or if it's going to be different versions of T'Challa. But I know that this isn't exactly the final performance we hear of Chadwick Boseman. I saw his credits and I think he's in 3 more, if I'm not mistaken. But I found myself intrigued by the concept of what if the Ravengers came and picked up T'Challa rather than Peter Quill. It's not like it was like a specific choice that led them to pick up T'Challa. It was the fact that they messed up, you know. Well, I guess the choice was Yondu chose to stay behind rather than go and get the kid himself. So in comparison, in this episode, we see that he sends out his crew to go and get the kid. And you realize they mixed them up. They got Peter Quill and T'Challa all wrong. And it was kind of a hilarious reasoning as to why this whole different multiverse is in existence. I also like how they showed a little bit of T'Challa as a kid side by side with his father. They're both at younger ages here, and we get to see them ponder the question, see what I did there, about why we should remain hidden. You know, why can't we venture out into the open world? Because T'Challa has this very adventurous mindset to him and this wild curiosity which drags him to like venture out beyond the force field that Wakanda has and really see himself get trapped by the Ravengers. You know, I think he was like playing and he was like throwing a spear or something and he threw it too far, you know. I think that might have been a little purposeful though, because again, he was said to be very adventurous, you know, and that's why he didn't really question the whole crazy nature of what was happening when they took him, you know. He just kind of embraced it, which was, I felt a little weird, like he wouldn't really miss home. But of course, after years, they said that he tried going back, and Yondu told him you know, your family's dead, kid. You know, I thought they tackled this what if pretty well. It was very interesting and intriguing throughout. I guess if you like really remember the beats of the Guardians movies, I think this might be a little obvious to you because they use kind of the same twists a little bit, you know. Like the realization that Ego was the one that put the tumor in Quill's mother is the realization, kind of like the same realization, not as intensely, but it's kind of the same twist of like, hey, I lied about your whole family being dead, right? So you really got that emotional impact in there, and I really like how they played that out, and it was very interesting to see the intergalactic side of Marvel kind of flipped on its head. Like we see Nebula pop out, and she has like longer hair, and she's more of like she's kind of more of like a super spy or like a thief, you know? She has that vibe to her of like a super spy, and it's pretty cool. And also, to my surprise, we see the Mad Titan Thanos pop up, and he's just like, it's kind of hilarious because in this multiverse, Thanos is like a troubled individual that went to his friends and told them about his like ideologies and how he sees things, and they all kind of talked him out of it. They're like, dude, that's not really that efficient, you know, like you can't really do that. Isn't that mass genocide? It's funny to hear people's responses to his venting of how he feels like the universe should go. I love how they just share his master plan of like killing half the population to preserve all resources as just like something he's trying to vent, and that's just hilarious, you know. And then once he gets it out and people kind of talk him down from it, he becomes this kind of like good guy, you know. He doesn't have that evil of a heart, you know. I love how they flipped it on its head, and we have that whole Nebula and Thanos dynamic that I felt if they got along together more in the movies that they would have. So that was really cool to see them have their little what if in this episode. But I really love how it wraps itself up with the final battle with the Collector. I believe Michael Rooker to Chadwick Boseman and Benicio del Toro all voiced their characters respectfully. So I was really taken aback, you know, because this felt like the characters felt alive, man, and that's all in the voice performances. And I love the final fight. It was like a three-way fight between Yondu, Star-Lord, T'Challa, and the Collector, and that was just really cool to see. Then of course a lot of cameos from like Howard the Duck and Cosmo the Dog. It's really cool to see, and I think Seth Green voices Howard the Duck in this as well, and that was also a fine treat to hear when watching this episode. So with that being said, this episode, is there any flaws to it? I gotta say, I love the storytelling in this more. I felt the pacing was way better in this compared to the first episode, because I didn't really like how they revealed Steve's death just like that, you know, and no one really had an emotional impact when he came back. In this episode, they paced things out way smoother, and yeah, they're roughly around the same time length. I said 20 something minutes. No, they're 30 minutes. They're half an hour. So I think it's a good length to really tell a really good story, and this is probably my favorite. Of course, I haven't seen any of the others, but so far, this one is my favorite storytelling wise. But when it comes to the animation, I felt like there wasn't really anything too over the top with this animation. I could be wrong. It didn't really stick out to me. I really loved Captain Carter's animation a little more. This episode in particular, there was really no animation that really stood out. Like I was like, ooh, that's really beautiful. Or like, ooh, that could be a wallpaper. Compared to Captain Carter, there was a lot of moments where it was like a wallpaper moment, or like the nice silhouette animations. It reminded me of like an old-time magazine or like an old-time detective novel, you know. It's just, it was really cool. And sadly, I didn't see any of the same flair in the animation in this one. I could be wrong. Prove it to me. Let me know down below. So when it comes to the rating, I'm going to have to give this episode, let's see. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to give this episode a solid 4.5 Skarsgårds. Yes, it is pretty high up there. It's getting close to a 5, halfway from a 5. So let me know, what did you think of episode 2 down below? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know. What did you think? And are you excited for the rest of the stories to come? Let me know down below. And as always, please like, share, subscribe to support this little side hobby I am doing. And as a reminder, I co-host a show called The Rendered Image over on my friend Tyler's channel. We go back and forth about movie news, movie updates, movies itself, trailers that we've seen. And we're also going to be discussing, I know for a fact we're going to be discussing What If episode 2. So if you want to hear us go back and forth way more in depth, please join us Thursday night, 8 o'clock, 8:30 p.m. Link to which will be down below in the description. So please go and check that out. Check out our past episodes. It's all fun, and it's always a good time. So I hope you're all safe and well out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.